The rain hammered the windows of Alex Harlan's cramped Brooklyn walk-up like fists demanding entry, but inside, the storm was already raging. He clutched the phone, screen glowing with a number he hadn't seen in 5 years, his mother's. One ring turned to two, and with each buzz, the scar tissue around his heart threatened to tear open, spilling out the old blood of rejection. "Hello." His voice cracked like thunder, betraying the steel he'd forged in the fires of exile. "Alex, is that really you?" Margaret Harlan's words slithered through the line, laced with that familiar southern drawl, honeyed but barbed. She paused, as if tasting the silence for poison. "We need you home. Your father's dying, and there's complications. Family business. You have to come." He laughed, a bitter bark that echoed off the peeling wallpaper. Home. That word was a ghost, banished the night his father caught him kissing Jamie in the barn behind their Nebraska farm. "Complications," Alex echoed, the word tasting like ash. "Like how you all called me an abomination and slammed the door in my face." Pass. But even as he spoke, doubt wormed in. His father, the unbreakable Harlan patriarch, failed? And what of Ellie, his little sister, the one who'd whispered apologies through tears as they loaded his truck with nothing but a duffel and dreams? Margaret's breath hitched, a sob disguised as a sigh. "It's not what you think. Please, Alex. For Ellie's sake. She's lost without you." The line went dead before he could refuse again, leaving only the rain's relentless drum and the hollow ache in his chest. Alex slumped onto the sagging couch, the phone slipping from his fingers like a live wire. 5 years. He'd clawed his way from that dirt road purgatory to this. A junior editor at a scrappy indie press in Manhattan. A circle of friends who knew his scars without pitying them. And Jordan. God. Jordan, whose laugh could chase shadows from the gloomiest tenement. Jordan, with his easy grin and artist's hands that traced stories on Alex's skin without ever demanding more than he could give. They'd met at a queer-lit reading last winter, bonding over dog-eared copies of Audre Lorde, and in the months since, Jordan had become the anchor Alex never knew he needed. But family? That was a riptide, pulling him under with lies and legacies he thought he'd escaped. He scrolled through old photos on his phone. Ellie at 12, gap-toothed and fierce, arms slung around his neck. His mother in her Sunday best, eyes already distant. Dad, broad as a silo, grip like iron on a pitchfork. The farm, Harlan Acres, sprawled across 200 acres of corn and regret, a monument to the straight and narrow life they'd demanded. Alex had been 18, fresh from his first fumbling romance with a boy from the next county over, when Dad found out. The yelling had shaken the rafters. "This ain't natural. You'll burn for it, boy." Mom had stood silent, tears carving rivers down her flour-dusted cheeks, while Ellie clung to his leg, whispering, "Don't go, Alex. Please." He'd gone anyway, hitching to Omaha, then Chicago, crashing on couches in seedy bars where drag queens mothered the lost boys like him. Jobs came and went, barista, courier, ghostwriter for self-help gurus who peddled overcoming like it was a cure for who you were. New York swallowed him whole 2 years in, spitting him out sharper, hungrier. Now, at 28, he had a byline in the Village Voice, a sublet that didn't flood every full moon. And Jordan, who texted right on cue. "Rough night? Pizza and bad rom-coms at mine." Alex typed back, "Family drama. Might need that pizza." He didn't mention the call. Not yet. Jordan knew the outlines, the disownment, the isolation, but diving into the depths meant risking the fragile peace they'd built. Their love was a quiet rebellion. Lazy Sundays sketching in bed, arguments over plot twists in manuscripts, stolen kisses in crowded subways where no one cared. Jordan, a graphic novelist with ink-stained fingers and a past as checkered as Alex's, understood the weight of hidden histories. But Harlan Acres? That was a black hole, sucking light from everything it touched. Sleep evaded him that night, the rain a ceaseless interrogation. By dawn, he'd booked a ticket to Lincoln, cheapest flight out of LaGuardia, leaving in 12 hours. Just to see Ellie, he told his reflection in the fogged mirror, jaw set against the lie. Truth was, the pull was magnetic, a mix of guilt and fury and that stubborn Harlan blood demanding he face the wreckage. He packed light, jeans, hoodies, a notebook for the stories he'd never write about this. As he zipped the bag, His phone buzzed again. Not Mom, but an unknown number. Voicemail. Ellie's voice, small and shattered. Alex? It's me. Dad's not just sick. He's confessing things. Bad things. I need you. Come home. The words landed like shrapnel. Confessing? Harlan men didn't confess. They commanded. Alex's mind raced to the farm's underbelly. The unexplained debts, Dad's late-night meetings with shady buyers, whispers of crop insurance scams that kept the lights on through brutal droughts. Or worse, rumors from high school about Uncle Ray, Dad's brother, vanishing after some family dispute that left blood on the barn floor. Alex had always chalked it up to tall tales, but Ellie's tone said otherwise. This wasn't a deathbed plea. It was a summons to war. He met Jordan at the coffee shop down the block, steam rising from their mugs like unspoken fears. Jordan's eyes, hazel and searching, locked on his. You're going, aren't you? No judgment. Just that steady gaze that made Alex feel seen, not salvaged. Yeah, Ellie's in trouble. Alex stirred his black coffee, watching the spoon whirl like his thoughts. I don't know how long. A week, maybe. Jordan reached across the scarred formica, thumb brushing Alex's knuckles. Then go be the brother she needs. I'll hold the fort, finish that manuscript edit you hate, keep the bed warm. A grin flickered, but worry shadowed it. Just, don't let them break you again. You're not that kid anymore. Alex squeezed his hand, the warmth a lifeline. I won't. But as he boarded the plane hours later, staring out at the receding skyline, doubt not. New York was his fortress, built brick by queer brick. Nebraska? That was the battlefield where he'd first fallen. The flight was turbulent, mirroring the churn in his gut. Landing in Lincoln felt like stepping into a time capsule. Flatlands stretching endless under a bruised sky, air thick with the scent of earth and exhaust. He rented a beat-up Chevy at the airport, the radio crackling with country twang that twisted the knife. The drive to Harlan Acres was 2 hours of memory lane. Past the diner where he'd scarfed pancakes after football practice, the creek where he'd skipped stones with Ellie, dreaming of cities that didn't judge. Dusk painted the horizon bloody as the farm came into view. Silos like sentinels, the house a squat Victorian with sagging porches, lights flickering in the kitchen window. Alex killed the engine at the gravel drive's end, heart slamming. Footsteps crunched. Ellie, 22 now, all grown into sharp cheekbones and wary eyes, barreled out the screen door. She crashed into him, arms fierce around his neck. You came. Oh God, you came. He held her tight, inhaling the faint lavender of her shampoo, same as always. Of course I did, kiddo. What's going on? Her face crumpled against his shoulder. Inside, Mom's with Dad. And there's someone else. A lawyer. From the city. The word city hung like a promise or a threat. Alex followed her up the creaking steps, the door groaning open to reveal the ghosts he'd fled. Mom stood at the stove, stirring soup with mechanical precision, her once vibrant red hair now threaded gray. She turned, eyes widening, then softening in a way that cracked something in him. Alexander. Not Alex. Never casual. Thank you. Dad's room was down the hall, door ajar. The man in the bed was a husk. Cheeks hollow, skin jaundiced, oxygen mask hissing like accusation. Tubes snaked from arms to machines, beeping a dirge. Alex froze in the threshold, the boy who'd worshipped this giant now pitying the shell. Son. The word wheezed out, eyes fluttering open, blue, like Alex's, but clouded with pain and something sharper. Regret? Knew you'd come. Alex swallowed bile. For Ellie. Not you. Dad's laugh rasped, weak. Fair. But listen, before it's too late. The farm. It's poisoned. Secrets. Your Uncle Ray didn't just leave. We did worse. A cough racked him, and Mom rushed in, shushing like he was a child. The lawyer, a slick type in a cheap suit, nursing coffee at the kitchen table, cleared his throat. Mr. Harlan, I'm Victor Klein from Omaha. Your father's will has amendments. Urgent ones. Involves you directly. Alex's blood iced. Directly? After the disownment papers Dad had shoved at him that rainy night, declaring him no blood of mine. What the hell does that mean? Klein slid a folder across the oak table, scarred from decades of family meals. Inheritance disputes. Allegations of fraud. And a beneficiary you wouldn't expect. Ellie gripped Alex's arm, nails digging crescents. "It's about Jamie," she whispered. "He's back, and he says Dad owes him everything." Jamie's name hit like a gut punch. The boy from the barn, the first love shattered by discovery. Last Alex heard, Jamie had fled west, broken by the same storm that exiled him. Now back, claiming the farm? The room spun, tensions coiling like barbed wire. This wasn't homecoming, it was ambush. As night deepened, Alex lay on the lumpy guest bed, his old room, stripped bare, staring at water-stained ceiling. Whispers drifted from the hall, Mom and Ellie arguing in hushed tones, Dad's labored breaths punctuating the silence. Jamie. The name evoked sun-warmed hay, stolen touches, the terror of being caught. Their love had been innocent, fierce, until it wasn't. Dad's rage had ended it, but Jamie's family, staunch evangelicals, had whisked him away, no goodbyes. A soft knock. Ellie slipped in, blanket wrapped like a conspirator. "Can't sleep either?" "Ghosts," Alex muttered, sitting up. She perched on the bed's edge, knees drawn up. "Jamie's not just back. He's changed. Got a partner now. A guy named Theo. They're opening a cafe in town, but the farm's in the way. Says Dad sabotaged his family years ago, drove them to bankruptcy over moral debts." Her voice trembled. "And Dad's confessing to murder, Alex. Uncle Ray. It was an accident, he says, but the lawyer thinks it's leverage." Murder? The farm's shadows lengthened in his mind. Ray's disappearance after a harvest brawl, the well where bones might hide. Alex pulled her close, sibling bond a fragile bridge over chasms. "We'll sort it. Together." But as she drifted off beside him, phone clutched like talisman, Alex's thoughts raced to Jordan, miles away. "Landed safe. It's worse than I thought. Miss you. Sent." No reply yet. The time difference a cruel gap. Dawn broke gray, coffee brewing bitter as truths. At breakfast, Klein laid out maps. Disputed acres, falsified deeds linking Harlan land to Jamie's lost inheritance. "Your father altered documents post-disownment, Mr. Harlan, to cut you out completely. But now, with his health, he's recanting, naming you executor." Alex's fork clattered. "Executor? Of an empire built on lies?" Mom's eyes pleaded silently. Ellie's hand found his under the table. Dad called from his room, voice frail. "Alex, come. Time to make it right." He went, stealing against the pull. The bedside confessions spilled halting. Ray's death in a drunken fight over protecting the family name. Ray had known about Alex, threatened exposure. Buried in the back 40, unmarked. "I did it for you," Dad wheezed. "To keep you safe from whispers." Safe. The irony burned. Alex's fists clenched. "You destroyed me to save me? That's not love, Dad. That's control." Tears tracked Dad's cheeks. "Maybe. But the farm's yours now, if you fight for it. Jamie's coming today. With proof." The screen door banged open mid-morning, admitting Jamie Whitaker like a specter made flesh. Taller, leaner, with a beard framing a jaw set in resolve, but those green eyes, unchanged, piercing. Beside him, Theo, compact, dark-haired, with a quiet intensity that spoke of shared battles. "Alex," Jamie said, voice steady but edged. "Didn't think you'd show." "Neither did I." Alex stood in the living room, arms crossed, Ellie hovering like a shield. Mom wrung her apron. Klein scribbled notes. Jamie tossed photos on the coffee table, yellowed deeds, bank statements showing Harlan loans that bled the Whitakers dry. "Your dad didn't just out us. He ruined us. Called in favors with the bank, spread rumors. My folks lost everything. House, land. I lost you because of it." Theo's hand rested on Jamie's shoulder, a subtle claim that twisted envy in Alex's gut. Not jealousy, but ache for what might have been. "We're not here for revenge," Theo said, accent faintly British. "Just justice. The acres Dad promised my family, back 40. It's ours by right." Dad's voice drifted from the hall, weak. "Lies. I helped. You buried help with my uncle." Jamie shot back, eyes flashing. The room crackled, accusations flying like sparks. Ellie defended, Mom mediated, Klein interjected legalese. Alex watched. The prodigal son turned referee, heart fracturing under the weight. Then Jordan's text lit his phone, holding down the fort. "But if you need backup, say the word. Love you." Simple words, a tether. Alex typed, "Need you here. Soon." As Jamie and Theo left with promises of court, the house sighed into uneasy quiet. Ellie cornered him in the barn, hay scent thick with memory. You okay? That was intense. Jamie looked good, Alex admitted, kicking a bale. Happy. With Theo. She nudged him. Doesn't mean what you had wasn't real. Or what you have now isn't better. Night fell heavy, stars pricking the vast sky. Alex paced the porch, phone to ear as Jordan answered. Tell me everything, Jordan urged, voice a bomb. He did, omitting nothing, the floodgates open. Jordan listened, then, sounds like a powder keg. You facing it head on? That's brave, Alex. But remember, family's not just blood. It's who shows up. The call ended with I love yous, but sleep brought dreams. Jamie's lips, Dad's fists, Jordan's absence of void. Morning brought the lawyer's warning. Jamie's filing tomorrow. Unless you contest. Contest? For a legacy of hate? Yet Ellie's plea. The farm's all we have, tugged. And beneath, a spark, redemption, perhaps, a reckoning. By noon, cars crunched gravel, neighbors, kin, a murmur of small-town judgment. Aunt Clara, Dad's sister, arrived with pie and prying eyes. Heard you're back to claim what's yours. About time someone stood up to that Whitaker boy. Alex bristled. Not claiming. Fixing. Her laugh was sharp. Fixing? Boy, this family's rotten to the core. Ray knew it. Tried to blow the whistle on your dad's dealings. Corn syrup scams, selling adulterated feed. That's why he ended up in the ground. More secrets, layering like sediment. Ellie pulled Alex aside. Aunt Clara's bitter. Dad cut her out too. But she's right about the scams. I found ledgers in the attic. The day blurred into confrontation. Jamie returned with a surveyor, stakes marking the disputed line. Words escalated. Thief, from Dad's window. Murderer, hurled back. Alex stepped between, voice cutting the din enough. This isn't justice. It's vengeance. Jamie met his gaze, old pain flickering. You think I wanted this? Seeing you again after? Theo watched, arm around Jamie's waist, a unit, unbreakable. Alex envied it, the ease of their alliance. Then let's talk. No lawyers. No maps. Just truth. They retreated to the kitchen, coffee steaming like fragile truces. Stories unfolded. Jamie's flight to California, rebuilding as a barista, meeting Theo at a pride rally in San Francisco. Theo's own scars, kicked out at 16, a trans man navigating a world of binaries. Their cafe dream, rooted in Jamie's family recipes, now threatened by Harlan ghosts. Alex shared fragments. New York hustle, the press job, Jordan's warmth. I rebuilt without looking back. But this, he gestured to the walls. It's unfinished business. A knock interrupted. Sheriff, tipped by Klein about disturbances. No arrests, just warnings. The town's homophobic undercurrent bubbling. Whispers of sodomites stirring trouble. As dusk fell, Jamie lingered on the porch. I never stopped thinking about you, Alex. But Theo, he's home. I know. Alex's throat tightened. Be happy. That's all I wanted for you then. Their hug was brief, charged with what-ifs, then gone. Alone, Alex called Jordan. It's unraveling. Come, please. Jordan's flight landed at midnight. Alex met him at the airport, the reunion a collision of need. Embrace fierce, lips brushing in the parking lot's dim glow. Missed you, Jordan murmured, bag slung over shoulder. Missed this. Alex drove, hand on Jordan's thigh, the touch grounding. At the farm, Ellie welcomed Jordan with wide-eyed curiosity, Mom with stiff politeness masking curiosity. Dad slept oblivious. In the guest room, they collapsed together, Jordan's fingers tracing Alex's tension knots. Tell me how to help. Stay? Be my witness. Alex kissed his temple. To whatever hell breaks loose. Dawn brought the hearing. Informal, at the county courthouse, a squat brick building reeking of bureaucracy. Klein argued for Harlan retention. Jamie's counsel, a sharp Omaha attorney, for restitution. Testimonies flew. Ellie's tearful plea for family unity. Mom's halting admission of complicity in the scams. Dad's recorded confession. Ray's death ruled accidental, self-defense, but the fraud undeniable. Alex took the stand, voice steady. I was cast out for loving a man. Now, that same love brings me back, not to claim land, but to heal wounds. Give Jamie the acres. Let the farm shrink if it means we all breathe. Gasps rippled. Dad's eyes, from his wheelchair, widened in shock. Pride? Betrayal? Jamie's jaw dropped, Theo squeezing his hand. The judge, a weathered woman with kind eyes, deliberated briefly. Petition granted. Akers to Whitakers, with Harlan apology in writing. Case closed. Relief washed the room. Tentative handshakes exchanged. Outside, under Nebraska's sun, Alex faced his father. It's done. No more wars. Dad gripped his arm, frail but fervent. Proud of you, son. Finally. The words landed soft, a balm on old burns. Ellie hugged Jordan, declaring him cooler than any cowboy. Mom thawed, offering pie with a smile that reached her eyes. But as they drove back, Jordan at the wheel, Alex's phone buzzed. Unknown caller. Voicemail. A woman's voice, urgent. Mr. Harlan? This is Lena from the Nebraska AG's office. We have questions about your Uncle Ray. New evidence. And it implicates your mother. The victory soured. Secrets, it seemed, had deeper roots. The AG's office loomed like a monolith in downtown Lincoln, all glass and steel clashing with the heartland's rustic soul. Alex gripped the steering wheel white-knuckled as he pulled into the lot. Jordan beside him, a silent sentinel. Lena Vargas, the investigator, waited in the lobby, mid-40s, no-nonsense Bob, eyes that dissected lies like scalpels. Mr. Harlan, thank you for coming promptly. This is sensitive. Jordan squeezed Alex's knee under the table in the sterile conference room, his presence a quiet rebellion against the room's chill. What's this about, Mom? Alex asked, voice level despite the quake inside. Lena slid photos across, grainy shots from a decades-old security cam at a grain elevator, Ray Harlan arguing with two figures, one Margaret, young and fierce, the other, a stranger in a trucker hat. Your uncle didn't die in a brawl. Poisoning. Slow-acting pesticide from your family's stores. Your mother purchased it the week before. Alex's world tilted. Mom, the woman who'd baked his birthday cakes, sung lullabies through fevers? Impossible. She was the peacemaker. Peacemakers bury bodies too, Lena said flatly. Ray was skimming, selling off purebred seed for profit, cutting your dad out. Your mom confronted him. Then he vanished. We exhumed last week. Toxins match. Jordan's hand tightened, his artist's eye catching details Alex missed. The fear in young Margaret's stance. The envelope exchanged. Hush money? Blackmail? What now? Jordan asked, voice calm, drawing the room's focus. Charges pending. But we need your cooperation. Any family records, motives. Lena's gaze softened fractionally. I know this blindsides you. LGBT community ties make it trickier. Whispers of bias in rural PD. Alex nodded numbly, signing waivers for the attic ledgers Ellie had unearthed. As they left, the sun mocked with cheer, Nebraska's endless blue a lie against the storm brewing. Mom, he muttered, dialing her number. Voicemail, it's me. Call back. Now. She didn't. Hours ticked by on the drive home, Jordan filling the silence with stories of his own fractured family. A trans aunt disowned in the 80s, rebuilding in queer enclaves. It's not always malice, Jordan said. Sometimes fear masquerades as love. Back at the farm, Ellie paced the kitchen, flour-dusted from pie attempts. She bolted after you left court. Said she needed air. Aunt Clara picked her up, headed to the old cabin by the river. The cabin, Ray's hideout, a rotting shack where summers meant fishing and forbidden beers. Alex grabbed keys. Stay here. Watch Dad. Jordan insisted. I'm coming. Their eyes met, partners in this mess, no longer bystander. The river road wound muddy, tires churning red clay. Clara's truck sat crooked by the cabin, door ajar. Inside, voices rose. Mom's, shrill. Clara's, venomous. Alex burst in, Jordan at his heels. Mom. She whirled from the window, face ashen, Clara looming like a storm cloud. Alexander. You weren't supposed to. No. He advanced, photos from Lena clutched like indictment. About Ray? The poison? How could you? Tears carved fresh paths. He threatened us, all of us. Knew about you, even then. Said he'd tell the town, ruin Dad's deals. I just wanted to scare him. Tainted his whiskey. But he drank it all. Clara snorted. Scare? You dosed him heavy, Maggie. I covered, drove the body to the quarry. For family. Jordan stepped forward, voice gentle steel. Family doesn't mean complicity in murder. Turn yourselves in. End it. Mom crumpled to a rocker, rocking as if birthing ghosts. I did it for you, Alex. To protect your secret. In this town, being gay was death sentence enough without scandals. The irony choked him, protection via poison. You made me the monster to hide your own. Words hung, lacerating. Clara lunged, but Jordan blocked, his frame unyielding. Easy. No more violence. Sirens wailed distant. Ellie calling it in? Mom rose, hands trembling. Go. Before they come. I'll confess. Tell your father. I'm sorry. Clara spat curses, but Alex held firm. No running. Face it. Like I did. Cuffs clicked in the twilight, Lena's team efficient. Mom's gaze met his through the cruiser window. Regret. Love. A mother's fractured plea. Clara silent, pride her only armor. Back at the farm, Dad waited in his chair, oxygen hissing judgment. Ellie sobbed into Jordan's shoulder, the newcomer holding her like kin. She said to tell you she loved you always. Alex relayed, voice raw. Dad's eyes, milky, fixed on him. Knew. Suspected. But love blinds, son. Like with you. I saw, but couldn't accept. Feared losing the farm, the name. Foolish. Confession cascaded. Dad's own youth. A crush on the stable boy crushed by societal hammer. The scams born of desperation. Ray's greed the final straw. I drove her to it. My sins. Alex knelt, hand on Dad's knee, a touch long denied. Then let's atone. Together. Nights blurred into vigils. Hospital for Dad's final rally. Jail visits for Mom's hearings. Jordan became linchpin, sketching farm plans for sustainable pivot, organic co-op with Jamie's cafe supplying. Rebuild different, he'd say, pencil flying. Jamie and Theo visited, olive branch extended. Over porch beers, non-alcoholic for Dad. Barriers cracked. Theo's got ideas, Jamie said, grinning. Queer Farmers Network. Pride parades in the fields. Theo nodded, eyes warm. Your story, ours, could inspire. Overcoming the hate. Laughter rippled, tentative. Alex watched Jordan banter with them, his ease weaving threads of new community. But doubt lingered. Could roots regrow in poisoned soil? A week in, Jordan pulled Alex to the barn at midnight, stars wheeling overhead. This place, it's growing on me. But only if you're here. Alex traced Jordan's jaw, moonlight silvering his features. New York's home. But maybe. Dual residency? Weekends here, city escapes. Jordan's kiss sealed it, deep, affirming, a vow against voids. Anywhere with you. Dad's rally peaked, then faded, breath shallowing. Final night, family gathered. Ellie curled by the bed, Alex opposite, Jordan in the hall with coffee. Proud. Dad whispered again, hand in Alex's. Of the man you became. Despite us. With you, Alex corrected softly. The good parts. Eyes closed, chest stilled. Grief crashed, but in it, release. Funeral was small-town spectacle. Church packed with curious, casket draped in Harlan colors. Pastor droned platitudes, but Ellie spoke truth. Dad's flaws, loves, the humanity beneath. Alex followed. He taught me resilience. And now, we honor by changing. After, at the graveside, Jamie approached. The back 40, it's blooming. Thanks to you. Theo added. And if you ever want to collaborate, on stories, or more. Nods exchanged, bridges built. Mom's trial loomed, plea bargain in works. Manslaughter, time served under house arrest. Visits through glass, her voice crackled. Seeing you happy. With him. Worth every chain. Jordan waited outside, always. Their love deepened in the limbo. Drives through amber fields. Talks of futures unfurling like corn silk. But tension simmered. Town gossip. That gay boy's stirring trouble again. One evening, at the local bar, a dive called Rusty Nail, words turned to blows. A drunk rancher, face florid, slurred at Alex and Jordan over pool. Harlan trash, bringing your filth back. Jordan's cue stick clattered. Walk away, man. Fists flew, rancher swinging wild, Alex dodging, Jordan tackling clean. Sheriff hauled them apart. No charges, but bruises bloomed. Home, ice packs and whispers. Worth it? Alex asked. Jordan grinned through split lip. For us? Always. Ellie's birthday anchored them. A bonfire on the disputed line, now shared. Guests, Jamie's crew, town allies unearthed, a lesbian couple running the feed store. Even Klein with awkward jokes. Songs rose, esmores melted, Jordan's arm around Alex a public claim. But midnight brought the twist. A letter slipped under the door, anonymous. You think it's over? Ray had a son, coming for blood, and he knows about the boy in New York. Chills spidered Alex's spine. A cousin? Hidden heir? Jordan read over shoulder. Another war? Seems so, but in his eyes, resolve mirrored. Together? Always. Weeks spun, harvest under queer rainbow flags fluttering defiant. Mom's release to the farm under ankle monitor. Bonding tentative, her apologies over tea, his forgiveness in increments. I see now, she said. Love's not a sin. It's salvation. Jordan's novel pitched, Shadows of the Silo, fictionalized Harlan saga. Alex's input shaping resilient heroes. Offers trickled, excitement buzzed. Then the son arrived. Caleb Ray Harlan. 30-ish, lanky with Ray's hawk nose, eyes feral. Knocked at dawn, duffel slung. Uncle Alex? DNA says so. And Dad's ghost wants payback. Ellie gaped. Mom paled. Caleb spilled. Raised in foster care after Ray's disappearance. Pieced truth from old letters. Farm's mine by blood right. Or I go public. Murder, fraud, the works. Threat hung, but Alex saw cracks. Loneliness in Caleb's stance, hunger for roots. Stay? Dinner. Talk. Jordan eyed him wary but nodded. Over pot roast, stories clashed. Caleb's grit in Seattle streets. Queer underground scenes mirroring Alex's youth. I'm by, Caleb admitted. Hated Dad for vanishing, but family. Theo and Jamie joined next day, numbers bolstering. Caleb's edge softened over farm chores, hands calloused from city odd jobs. Never had this, he muttered, mending fence with Alex. Jordan sketched him, raw, potential portrait. Redemption arc, he teased later. Nah, just humanity. But Caleb's play deepened. Midnight raid on the attic, ledgers vanishing. Morning discovery, gone, with a note, fuel for the fire. See you in court, cousins. Betrayal stung. Ellie wept. Mom retreated. Alex rallied. He's scared. Like we were. Sheriff searched, fruitless. Then Jordan's epiphany. His foster records. Lena might have access. Call yielded gold. Caleb's history, abuse-scarred, grudge-fueled. But a lead. Caleb crashing with town skeptics, the rancher from the bar. Confrontation at Rusty Nail. Alex, Jordan, Jamie trio storming in. Caleb at the corner booth, ledgers clutched. Back off. This evens the score. Words Ward, Alex's plea, we're not them. Join us. Build, don't burn. Rancher goaded, but Theo's calm diffused. We've all lost. Don't make more ghosts. Caleb cracked, tears hot. Dad wrote me once, said Harlan's stick. But you killed him. Mom, arriving unbidden, spoke through the din. I did. And I'd do it again to protect my babies. But you're family now. Come home. He did. Ledgers returned, grudge fracturing. Group hug awkward, but real, queer kin expanding. Fall deepened, leaves crimson warnings. Dad's will finalized, farm split equitable, Caleb a share. Mom's monitor beeped freedom's edge. One crisp night, Alex and Jordan walked the back 40. Now Jamie's, vines twisting hopeful. Rebuilt, Alex murmured. Jordan pulled him close. And still building. But the call came at Thanksgiving. New York editor, urgent. Manuscript due. Or we pull the deal. Choice loomed. City pull versus heartland roots. Alex agonized. Jordan patient. Go. I'll bridge. Flight home bittersweet. Skyline welcoming. Work frenzy, but calls nightly. Farm updates. Caleb's awkward thanks. Ellie's pride plans. Return brought snow-dusted fields. Yule logs crackling. Caleb stayed, bunking with Ellie, sparks of sibling tease. Mom baked. Jordan decorated. Rainbow ornaments defiant. Christmas Eve, under tree lights, Alex proposed. Not ring, but promise. Marry me? Here, there, everywhere. Jordan's yes was a whisper, kiss a seal. But twist lingered, anonymous notes shadow. Valentine's, it resurfaced. Not over. Watch your backs. Paranoia crept. Slashed tires on Jordan's rental. Whispers at the co-op, Caleb confessed. My ex vengeful. Knows too much. Ex. Derek. Trans man scorned. Harlan grudge via Caleb's tales. Stalking now, threats veiled. Climax brewed. Derek cornered Caleb at the river, knife glinting. Alex, alerted by Ellie's hunch, raced with Jordan, Jamie. Chaos. Shouts. Scuffle. Jordan tackling Derek clean. Artist's agility saving kin. Sheriff hauled him. Charges assault. Aftermath. Caleb's gratitude tear-streaked. You saved me. Like family should. Healing wove tighter. Therapy circles. Queer support swelling town edges. Spring bloomed. Wedding plans. Small. Farm-bound. Vows under silo shadows. Through wars and rebuilds. I choose you. Guests cheered. Ellie maid of honor. Mom beaming. Caleb best man. Jamie and Theo toasting. Happily ever? No. Life's tensions ebbed. But love's drama endured. Resilient as prairie grass. Summer heat shimmered off the Harlan acres like a fever dream, turning the air thick and unforgiving. Alex wiped sweat from his brow, hammer in hand as he nailed fresh siding to the barn. Jordan's design, sleek lines blending old wood with modern angles for the co-op's new community space. Caleb worked opposite, muscles straining under his tank top, the once wary cousin now a fixture, his laughter a novel sound echoing across the fields. You're a natural, city boy, Caleb teased, nodding at Alex's crooked nail. Or is that just wedding jitters? Alex chuckled, the easy camaraderie a far cry from the guarded silences of winter. Blame the heat. Or Jordan's blueprints. They're as twisty as his plots. 8 months since the wedding, and their union felt like roots delving deep. Weekends shuttling between Nebraska's open skies and New York's electric hum, a rhythm that sustained rather than strained. Jordan thrived in the duality, his graphic novel silo shadows hitting shelves with queer bookstore buzz, illustrations capturing the farm's haunted beauty. But peace was a fragile crop, vulnerable to late frosts. Mom, anklet long removed, tended the kitchen garden with renewed vigor, her hands in soil a metaphor for atonement. Ellie, blooming into farm manager, orchestrated the organic pivot with Jamie and Theo's cafe as anchor, lavender lattes and pride scones drawing tourists wary of small-town stares. Yet beneath the harvest gold, fishers lingered, town holdouts muttering about Harlan perversions, anonymous flyers tacked to co-op posts decrying moral decay. The latest arrived that afternoon, pinned to the bulletin board amid seed swap flyers. Repent or ruin. God sees your sins. No signature, but the scripture scrawled in red, Leviticus, of course, reeked of pastor hail, the firebrand from Dad's funeral who'd eyed Alex and Jordan like serpents in Eden. Jordan found it first, ripping it down with a snort. Old news. Let him pray, we'll plant. His optimism was infectious, but Alex saw the flicker. Jordan's own scars from a youth dodging slurs in Ohio suburbs, coming out as bi in a household that equated it with betrayal. They burned the flyer in the fire pit that evening, flames devouring hate as stars pricked the velvet sky. Ellie joined, roasting marshmallows with Caleb, her crush on him bubbling unspoken, sibling vibes evolving into something tender, complicated by blood ties. Mom watched from the porch, a half-smile ghosting her lips. Progress, she murmured when Alex sat beside her. Your father would have hated it. Or, learned to love it, like me. Her hand on his was tentative bridge, but solid. Therapy had unearthed layers. Mom's own suppressed longings, a college flirtation with a roommate quashed by societal decree, fueling her overprotection of the normal. I feared you'd suffer what I denied myself, she'd confessed once, tears salting the confession. Now, as crickets chorused, Alex leaned into her. You're suffering less these days. She squeezed. Because of you. And him. A nod to Jordan, sketching by firelight. He sees you, Alex. Truly. The idol shattered with a midnight call. Lena Vargas again, voice clipped. Trouble. Hales rallying a petition. Zoning changes to block your co-op. Claims family values violation. And he's got dirt. On Caleb's ex, Derek. Says the assault was staged. You're covering. Alex bolted upright, Jordan stirring beside him. Staged? Derek's in county lockup. Allegedly bailed by anonymous donor. Hale's preaching fire, Harlan Witch's brewing scandal. Lena paused. Meet tomorrow. Bring the family. Dawn briefing in the kitchen. Ellie pale, Caleb fuming, Mom wringing hands, Jamie and Theo en route. Jordan brewed coffee strong as resolve. Counterpunch. Public story, our story. Op-ed in the Lincoln Journal. Alex nodded, pulse racing. Exposure terrified, the raw edges of their saga. Disownment, murder, redemption. But silence bred monsters. Town hall loomed a week out. Hale's petition gaining signatures like weeds. They mobilized. Ellie canvassing allies. The feed store lesbians printing flyers. Harlan co-op. Growing together, not apart. Caleb, redemption hungry, confronted his past. Visited Derek in jail. Emerging drained, but resolute. He twisted it. Said I owed him for taking him in. But Hale's paying his bail. Conspiracy. Jordan's op-ed dropped mid-week. From silos to solidarity. A queer family's fight for fertile ground. Words wove pain into power. Alex's exile. Mom's confession. Caleb's arrival. A tapestry of resilience. Responses flooded. Support from Omaha pride groups. Hate mail echoing Hale's venom. The night before Hall, tension peaked. Anonymous call to Alex. Raspy voice. Drop it, or the boy pays. Boy? Ellie? Caleb hung up, tracing, burner phone, traced to Hale's church. They armed. Recorded lines, sheriff looped. Jordan pulled Alex to the loft. Hay-scented sanctuary. Whatever tomorrow brings, we're unbreakable. Kiss lingered, reaffirming. Love you, Alex whispered. Foreseeing the mess and staying. Morning brought crowds, supporters in rainbow pins, detractors with crosses. Hale, bull-necked and bellowing, thundered from podium. This land's for God-fearing folk. Harlan's peddled deviance, murder, lies, unnatural unions. Booze, cheers clashed. Alex took stand, voice steady. Fears the real poison here. My family faltered, sins we owned, atoned. Now, we build, jobs, community, love without apology. Sign against us? You're signing against hope. Jordan flanked, hand in his, public, proud. Ellie followed. I'm straight, but my brother's happiness is mine. Who's the deviant? Us, living true, or you, hating from shadows? Caleb's turned gutted. Foster kid, queer lost. Harlan's gave me home. Hale, he preaches exclusion I fled. Mom closed. I killed to protect secrets. Now, I stand for truth. Gasps rippled, tears too. Petition failed, signatures shredding like old grudges. Hale slunk, fuming, but the co-op cleared. Afterglow short, Derek surfaced, Hale's pawn no more, spilling in plea deal. Church funds funneled for harassment. Charges mounted, Hale's empire cracking. Fall harvest celebrated. Festival on the acres, bands, booths, queer icons from city drawing crowds. Alex and Jordan danced slow under strung lights, bodies synced like heartbeats. But winter whispered new storms. Ellie's pregnancy test positive. Caleb's, a whirlwind romance, solidified. Joy tempered by fears. Small-town scrutiny on unwed, queer-adjacent kin. Mom stepped up. We'll marry you proper. Here. Wedding small, barn consecrated. Ellie radiant, Caleb vow-bound. Family encircling. Spring birthed the baby. Lila Harlan Ray. Fierce cry echoing legacy's shift. Years folded. Co-op thriving. Jordan's sequels charting their saga. Alex's memoir Exiles yield a bestseller. Caleb parented devoted. Mom grand milked with grace. Yet drama's thread persisted. A Harlan descendant unearthed. Graytant's child, claiming shares with capitalist gleam. Negotiations tense, but blood's pull prevailed. Another at table, story shared. Through it, Alex and Jordan anchored. Anniversaries in city lofts or field tents. Love's tension a spice, not scar. One eve, porch swinging, Alex mused, rebuilt everything. Worth the drag back. Jordan's head on shoulder. Every call, every war. Led here. Stars agreed. Silent witnesses to enduring. The ink on the latest Harlan family tree branch was barely dry when the letter arrived. Crisp envelopes slicing through the autumn mail like a scythe. Alex slid it open at the kitchen table, Jordan peering over his coffee mug, steam curling like question marks. Another claimant? Jordan quipped. but his tone held the weariness of too many reunions. Worse, Alex muttered, scanning legalese. Environmental suit. Sierra Club affiliate. Says our pivot's too late. Pesticide runoff from Dad's era contaminated the creek. Fines, cleanup, possible shutdown. Ellie's eyes widened from across the table, Lila on her hip gurgling oblivious. Caleb, flipping pancakes, froze mid-spatula. Mom, basting a roast for Sunday dinner, sighed deep. Ghosts again. Your father's shortcuts. The co-op, now a thriving hub of queer-led AG, supplying farm-to-table to Jamie's expanded chain, hung in balance. 2 years post-Hale's fall, they poured sweat and subsidies into remediation, cover crops, solar pumps, biodiversity plots. But legacy toxins lingered, a toxic inheritance mirroring the emotional ones. Jordan set his mug down, practical as ever. Call Lena. She's got EPA contacts. Lena Vargas met them in her Lincoln office, now promoted to lead investigator, her desk a fortress of files. It's legit, she confirmed, maps unrolled showing plumes snaking from Harlan Fields to the Platte River. But winnable. Community impact statement. Highlight the queer angle, restorative justice narrative. Courts eat that up. Back home, strategy sessions ignited. Ellie rallying local allies. Caleb digging soil samples for counter-evidence. Mom chronicling the pivot's green wins in a ledger of hope. Alex and Jordan co-wrote the statement, nights blurring into prose. From poisoned earth to promised land, Harlan's reclaim, not despite our loves, but because of them. Filing frenzy peaked, but doubt gnawed. Town whispers revived. Those boys'll bankrupt us all. A brick through the co-op window one night. Sinner's soil scrawled in marker. Jordan taped the glass next morning, jaw set. They're scared of change. Like always. Alex pulled him close amid shattered shards. Or us. 2 men building what they tore down. Hearing loomed in Omaha federal court, a marble mausoleum of justice. They caravanned. Ellie with Lila in tow, Caleb fidgeting, Mom stoic, Jamie and Theo as character witnesses. Jordan's hand in Alex's through security, a talisman against the chill. The judge, a stern Latino with probing eyes, heard plaintiffs first. Ecologists detailing fish kills, bird die-offs, tying to Harlan history. Negligence compounded by distraction. Family dramas over duty. Hale's shadow loomed. His successor pastor testified, veiled barbs about moral decay eroding stewardship. Alex's turn, voice steady, story unspooling. Dissonance despair, returns redemption, pivots purpose. We poisoned our own, literally, figuratively. Now we heal. For the land, for each other. Jordan followed, sketches projected, before and after fields, timelines of transformation. Art from ashes. Love from loss. Ellie spoke fierce. As a mother, I fight for clean water, for Lila's world. Mom's testimony cracked the room. I poisoned a man. Can't poison this earth too. Gasps, then silence. Plaintiff's counsel cross-examined sharp, but Mom held. Guilt's my guide now. Verdict, cleanup mandated, but co-op preserved. Probationary, with grants for expansion. Cheers erupted in the hall, hugs fierce. Post-victory beers at a dive, Theo raised glass. To stubborn roots. But elation ebbed with a call from New York, Alex's editor, gushing. Memoirs optioned, film rights. Scorsese's people. Thrill spiked, then dread. Hollywood glare on their scars. Think, Alex asked Jordan later, tangled in sheets. Jordan traced his collarbone. Our story. Our terms. Say yes, for the visibility. Negotiations dragged winter. Script drafts sanitizing queer edges. Alex pushing back. No erasure. The love's the core. Clashes peaked in LA meetings. Producers eyeing broader appeal. Jordan sketching alternate endings with grit intact. One night, hotel bar, Alex vented. They want tragedy, not triumph. Jordan's eyes flashed. Then we walk. Or rewrite. They did. Pitch flipped. Queer triumph. Family forged in fire. Deal sweetened. Principal roles cast. Non-binary lead for Alex's proxy. Trans actor for Jordan's. Filming slotted for spring, Nebraska locations. Chaos ensued. Crew invading acres. Locals gawking or griping. Ellie thrived as extra wrangler. Lila stealing scenes in diapers. But mid-shoot, fracture. Caleb row with director over inauthentic Foster scenes. You don't get the streets. Fists nearly flew. Alex mediated, heart aching. Night confessional by Creek. Sorry. Triggers, Caleb admitted. Alex clapped shoulder. Write your own page. Consultant credit. Not sealed. Caleb's input deepened arcs, earning bows. Rap party bonfire. Cast mingling with kin, story swapping. A producer, closeted, cornered Alex. Your courage. Inspires. Families, Alex replied. Messy but mine. Premiere rocked Sundance. Standing ovation, tears streaming. Reviews hailed queer heartland epic. Box office surged. Fame's double-edged cut. Paparazzi at farm gates. Hate spikes online. One threat, your movie lies. Ray's real son knows truth. Caleb paled another? But DNA delved. Hoax, hail diehard. Summer tour. Panels with Jordan, voices amplifying. Ellie joined one, Lila babbling. Represent. Back home, harvest under spotlights. Literal, from doc crew trailing for sequel. Fall brought curve. Mom's health dip. Cancer whisper early. Chemo scheduled, family circling. Jordan organized. Meal trains, co-op shifts covered. We're her brigade, he declared. Vigils and hospital glow, mom frail but fierce, regaling nurses with farm tales. Lived enough sins. Time for graces. Remission teased winter, full by spring. Celebration. Picnic on back 40, now wildlife haven. Deer grazing where grudges grew. Ellie's second, boy, named Harlan after dad. Caleb doted, uncle proud. Years accelerated. Co-op franchise. Jordan's graphic empire. Alex's advocacy. LGBT farm networks nationwide. Twist 23. Wildfire threat. Drought-fueled blaze licking borders. Evac alerts blared. They fought. Hoses, backburns, community converging. Jamie helicoptered water drops. Theo coordinated shelters. Lila, 5, clutched Jordan's leg. Save our home. They did. Acres charred, but core intact. Rebuild rallied donors. Queer fire funds pouring. Post-blaze, ashen-rich soil yielded bumper crop. Metaphor not lost, from burn to bounty. Decade mark. Vow renewal. Full circle. Barn aglow. Kin multiplied. Caleb wed a city chef, by pride flags waving. Alex, gray threading temples, toasted Jordan, dragged back, but stayed. For this. Jordan's kiss, worth every scar. Legacy lived, not perfect, but profound. Decades dust settled unevenly, like silt after flood, leaving the Harlan acres both scarred and strangely fertile. Alex surveyed the back 40 from the porch swing, coffee cooling in his mug as dawn painted the horizon in hesitant pinks. Jordan snored softly beside him, sketchpad open to a half-finished panel. A family portrait, Lila and her brother Harlan front and center, Ellie's twins peeking mischievous from behind. Caleb's laughter drifted from the co-op barns, where he now managed expansion, his partner Marco barking orders in accented English, their adopted kids chasing chickens. Mom, miraculously 10 years cancer-free, tended her herb garden below, humming hymns repurposed for hope. Ellie waved from the clothesline, diapers flapping like surrender flags. Life, at 38, felt like a manuscript revised too many times. Plot holes patched, characters evolved, but the spine, love's unyielding core, intact. Yet narratives crave conflict, and theirs arrived via certified mail, a class action suit from downstream farmers, alleging co-op greenwashing, claims that Harlan remediation was facade, toxins persisting. Led plaintiff, old rival, Whitaker kin distanced from Jamie, grudge hoarding since the partition. Again, Jordan groaned over breakfast, scanning the summons. We tested clean last year. Ellie scrolled news on her phone. Political. New AG commissioner, Hale's nephew. Pushing traditional regs to squeeze us out. Caleb slammed fist on table. We've bled for this. Labs, audits, everything above. Mom's voice cut calm. Fight smart. Not angry. Strategy huddle expanded. Jamie and Theo zooming in. Lena Vargas retired, but consulting pro bono. Leverage the film, she advised. Public sympathy. And dig, Plaintiffs got dirty hands too. Discovery unearthed gold. Rivals own runoff violations, hushed by commissioner ties. Jordan's media savvy spun op-eds. Alex testified at hearings, voice honed by podiums. We've transformed poison to promise. Don't punish progress for politics. Rallies swelled. Queer farmers nationwide. Pride tractors parading Lincoln. Media frenzy peaked. Harlan Heroes versus Heartland hate headlines. Victory. Suit dismissed. Commissioner probed. Elation short-lived. Personal blow. Lila, 8, came home from school tear-streaked. Bullied over two dads' farm. Drawing rainbow in class triggering meltdown. They said we're weird. She sobbed into Alex's shirt. Jordan knelt, eyes fierce. Weird's wonderful, kiddo. Like superheroes, capes optional. But ache lingered. Ellie pushed homeschool co-op, queer inclusive. Protect our own. Summer 33 brought bomb. National conference. Alex keynoting on queer roots in red states. Jordan's booth sold out. Caleb demoing sustainable tech. Lila shone in youth panel. Voice small but steel. My family fixed the broken. Yours can too. Crowd roared. Offers flooded. Consultancies, books. But home pull tugged. Marco's visa snag. Deportation shadow. Crisis mode. Lawyers, protests, social media storm. Ellie chained to ICE office. Mom baked protest pies. Resolution. Waiver granted. Marco stayed. Family intact. Fall deepened bonds. Harvest moon dance. Generations swaying. Lila on shoulders. Twins toddling. Winter whispered loss. Aunt Clara, bedridden, called truce. Saw your movie. Stirred ghosts. Hospice visit. Her confessions. Ray's lover. Hidden, fueling feuds. Regrets heavy boy. Alex forgave, handheld. Her passing quiet, while gifting cabin to Caleb. For new starts. Spring 34. Expansion groundbreaking. Queer AG College satellite on Harlan land. Funding gala in NYC. Alex and Jordan tuxed, stars and eyes. Pitch, from exile to education. Donors bid, shovels broke soil by June. But July scorched. Heat dome, crops wilting. Emergency irrigation, community wells shared. Lila fainted at co-op, heatstroke scare. Jordan carried her home, Alex driving frantic to R. Stable, but wake up, climate's war on farms. Pivot to drought-resilient strains, solar grids amped. August twist. Lost Harlan heir, Gray Tunkle's daughter, estranged, arriving unannounced. Nora, 50-ish, urban professor, queer icon in academia. DNA kit surprise. And curiosity. Skepticism thawed over dinners. Her stories of underground 70s scenes, paralleling Alex's youth. Fled this dust for degrees. Now legacy calls. She stayed, teaching at the college, romances blooming. Hers with Theo's sister, visiting. Fall classes launched, diverse students, fields alive with innovation. Lila, enrolled early, thrived. 35 milestone. Jordan's 20th book, Alex's TED Talk viral. But strain showed, fights over travel, Alex's burnout from advocacy. Cabin retreat, raw talks by fire. I fear losing us to the grind, Jordan admitted. Alex cupped face. You're my constant. A just delegate. Therapy renewed vows spark. Summer 36. Lila's bat mitzvah, Jewish roots from Jordan's side, blended ritual on farm. Community vast, Nora officiating, mom lighting candles. Tears, toasts, from cast out to chosen. Fall fraud alert, co-op embezzler, insider, town plant. Funds siphoned, audits frenzy. Caleb cracked case. Digital trail to commissioner kin. Arrests, restitution. Winter warmth. Family oral history project, Lila interviewing. Grandma, why the poison? Mom's truth, fear. But love teaches better. Spring 37. Nora's wedding. Barn vows echoing Alex's. Lila flower girl, twins ring bearers. Summer storm. Tornado touchdown, barns shredded. Rebuild rally. Nation donated, kin hammered side by side. Fall yield. Stronger structures, spirits unbroken. 38 health scare. Jordan's arrhythmia, pacemaker tease. Alex vigilant, loves care intimate. Recovery. Road trip, city to coast. Reconnecting, sketches and stories flowing. 39 expansion, international ties, queer farms in Canada collab. But 40 pandemic echo, AG labor shortages, supply chain snap. Co-op innovates, robot harvesters, virtual markets. Lila, teen now, leads youth wing, activism fire lit. Twist 41, Caleb's cancer diagnosis, early, treatable. Family fortress, mom's recipes, Ellie's vigils, Nora's research grants. Remission party, bonfire blaze, Caleb toasting, Harlan's heel. Summer 42, Lila's first love, non-binary classmate, sweet awkward. Alex guides, heart-led, always. Fall book, tour duo, Alex and Jordan, decades, dirt memoir sequel. Winter quiet, snow blanketing scars. 43 college launch full, diplomas under silos, Nora Dean. Spring suit redux, old rival appeal, quashed quick. Summer heat, record highs, but resilient crops hold. Fall harvest, record, celebrated with Pride Fest, tractors rainbow wrapped. 44 personal, Ellie third child, Caleb's second adoption. Winter reflection, Alex journals, wars won, worlds built. Spring 45, Jordan's 60th, surprise farm fest, kin global. But shadow, anonymous threat resurgence, blood debt unpaid. Hail ghost, investigation, disgruntled ex-employee, arrested. Summer closure, trial swift, justice served. Fall peace, acres golden, family woven. Through tempests, love's drama, tension, triumph, sustain them. The Harlan acres stretched under a millennium's weight by 2050, fields whispering secrets to drones humming overhead, mapping yields with AI precision. Alex, 58 now, leaned on his cane, arthritis's grudging gift, watching Lila, 25, direct the harvest brigade from a solar-powered ATV. Her partner, Riley, non-binary and brilliant with code, synced bots via tablet, their easy affection a mirror of Alex and Jordan's enduring dance. Jordan, beside him, sketched the scene, Lila's command, Caleb's grandkids scampering, Ellie's brood corralling them, a dynasty defiantly diverse. Mom, 90 and sharp as shears, napped in her rocker, Lila's twins curled at her feet. Nora lectured via HoloLink from the college quad, her wife beaming beside. Marco and Caleb, silvered but spry, oversaw the co-op's global feed, produced jetting to queer communes in Mumbai, Berlin outposts. Legacy loomed large. The Harlan model, textbook for regenerative AG, queer-led revolutions in policy. Alex's institutes dotted heartland, scholarships pulling rural youth from closets to classrooms. Jordan's opus, Roots and Rainbows, animated series now, educated generations. Yet epilogues tempt encores. The alert pinged mid-harvest, seismic survey, fracking lease on adjacent lands, threatening aquifer, corporate bidder, omni-energy, ties to old money evangelicals echoing Hale's ilk. History rhymes, Jordan muttered, closing his pad. Lila revved over, dust-caked. Grandpa Alex, rally the troops? Petition, protest, full Harlan. He grinned, cane tapping resolve. Lead on, kid. Mobilization whirlwind. Ellie coordinating locals, Caleb lobbying Lincoln, Nora drafting briefs. Mom, roused, penned op-eds. I've poisoned enough. No more. Media swarmed. Harlan heirs versus fossil foes. Protests peaked at State House. Rainbow rigs blockading, Lila megaphoning. Our water, our love, no compromise. Arrests came. Alex cuffed beside Jordan, Silver Fox duo smirking for cams. Worth it, bail bondsman asked. Jordan winked. Every chain. Lease denied, aquifer safe. Victory lap, farm feast, kin toasting under aurora, solar flares dancing defiant. Post-blaze, deeper currents stirred. Lila's crisis. Fertility struggles. Riley's support unwavering, but grief carving. Family therapy circles. Alex sharing exile's isolation. Love bridges barren. IVF triumph. Pregnancy announced at winter solstice. Cheers echoing. Spring 51. Great grand. Harlan 7. Cry a new chapter. But 52 shadow. Jordan's decline. Dementia creeping, sketches faltering. Alex anchored, memory books, farm walks tracing shared steps. Still see you, Jordan whispered one dusk, hand in hand by creek. My constant, Alex's tears, and you mine. Caregiving odyssey, Caleb's tech aids, Nora's trials, Lila's devotion. Community cocooned, co-op volunteers, queer caregivers network. 54 loss. Jordan slipped quiet, bedside surrounded. Alex's eulogy, he drew our world bolder. Love's artist eternal. Grief tsunami, but creation's tide. Alex curates Jordan's archives. Lila animates unfinished works. Summer 55, memorial unveiling. Jordan Harlan studio at college, murals alive. Fall healing. Alex dates tentative, a widower poet, sparks gentle. Lila teases, grandpa's glow up. 56 twist. Omni-energy revenge, sabotage, drones hacked, crops poison synthetic. FBI probe, insider, Commissioner Scion. Caleb testifies, Lila hacks counter, digital dual one. Justice, convictions, reparations funding green tech. 57 milestone, mom's centennial, party epic, great-greats dancing. Her toast, from poison to progeny. Harlan heart beats on. 58 Alex reflects, memoir finale, eternal yield. But 59 call, international, Brazil Queer Farm Alliance, crisis invite. Alex jets, Kane aboard, mentors, bonds forged. Return, Lila's wedding, Riley vows under silos, Alex officiating. 60 health turn, Alex's heart falters, pacemaker echoes Jordan's. Family vigilant, love's vigil. 61 quiet, porch philosophies with Lila, legacies layered. Summer fade, surrounded, Alex sighs content. Rebuilt, dragged back, but forward always. Eyes close, fields eternal. Epilogue whispers, Lila at helm, kin carrying torch, tensions, triumphs unending. Love's war, gloriously waged.